Hey, Lions Nation! We're back with another exclusive video bringing you all the latest news about our beloved Detroit Lions. Before we get started, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you never miss anything about the team. Now, let's get into the news. The past week has been a bit of a mix of reflection and family time, which is always a welcome break. Of course, there's the usual excitement of getting back into the grind, but having that open week allowed me to step back a little and recharge. It's often easy to get caught up in the whirlwind of the season, so it was nice to take a moment and focus on other things, like spending time with my family. My kids thought it was going to be some kind of fantastic week where we'd go out and do everything possible, but it ended up being a little more laid back than they anticipated. My middle son, Moses, actually came to work with me on Thursday, which was probably the highlight of the week. He thought it was going to be a fun day at work, but of course, it was work. I told him it was the least he could do since I had to be at football, soccer, and basketball events all week. While it was a great time to step away from the field for a bit, it was also a valuable opportunity to reflect on how we can improve as a team. We're constantly looking for ways to get better, and this week provided a chance to really focus on that. We analyzed what's working and what isn't, and took a hard look at how the team has been progressing. We also spent some time watching other teams around the league and seeing what they're doing, how they're performing, and where they might be doing something different. It's always valuable to observe the landscape of the NFL from a distance, especially when you're in the middle of a season. Sometimes, it's hard to see beyond your own team's record. Moses had a few ideas about what I should do with my time. For one, he suggested that I get home earlier. The other night, I got home and found him in my bed, glued to Monday Night Football. It was a proud moment for me when he got to see the last quarter of the game, even though he was half asleep by the time it ended. He was pretty excited, but it was also a learning experience for both of us. I spent some time coaching him up, working with him on his receiver and running back plays. It's moments like these that remind me of the importance of teaching the next generation. Moses is getting a real sense of what it takes to be dedicated to a sport. Switching gears to Dominic Love, I've been impressed with his progress. He's a guy who, for obvious reasons, has been buried on the depth chart, but he's been putting in the work. Most of his practice time has been spent focusing on special teams, and he's been doing a great job for the scout team. He's been named the show team player multiple times, so he's really stepping up. He's grown a lot as both a slot and outside player, and while camp slowed his development a bit, he's really caught up quickly. Being in the background gives him the chance to watch a lot, and he's been doing just that. He's been taking notes from players like Saint and learning from their professionalism. I think we've got a solid player in Dominic. Both he and TLA have been great in the gunner game, showing what they can do in special teams. It's been a big boost for us, as we've been looking for players who can disrupt plays, force fair catches, or create opportunities for others to rally. The practice squad, as well as the scout team, is a big part of player development. When you're tasked with giving a team a look, it's about studying the opponent's best players. For Dominic, that means trying to mimic Zay Flowers or any other star player in the league. Watching how those players move, how they handle the ball, how they approach every play, is a great learning experience. It allows our guys to study from a higher level, and that often leads to improved performance. It also boosts their confidence, as they realize they are capable of playing at that level too. We've seen a lot of players come back from these experiences with new insights about their own game. When it comes to players like Graham, the progress has been really noticeable, especially as he transitions from guard to center. The biggest challenge for him has been communication. A center needs to be the quarterback of the offensive line, calling out protections, making sure the offensive line is in sync, and ensuring everything runs smoothly. I've seen his physicality improve, and he's playing faster than ever. What's most impressive, though, is his ability to communicate under pressure. We've been able to move him around and give him different challenges, but his communication with the rest of the line and with the quarterback has been spot on. Jameson, on the other hand, has had some inconsistencies in his game. He's had games where he doesn't record much, and then he has these breakout games where he catches touchdowns or multiple passes. The key here is finding that middle ground, something between the highs and lows. We're constantly evaluating where he is in the progression of each play and how we can get him more opportunities. It's something we've been working on, and we know he can be a huge asset if we just give him more chances. It's not just about the plays we design. It's also about third down conversions and getting the offense into positions where everyone gets involved. We've had games where our run after catch has been great, and others where it hasn't met our expectations. So, we know we need to fine-tune that aspect of his game. As for Jameson mentally, I've been impressed with how he's handled things. He's a competitor, and when things don't go his way, you can see it. He's frustrated, but that's a sign that he cares. If he weren't frustrated, I'd be worried about complacency. That said, he hasn't let his emotions negatively affect his performance. He's ready to get back out there, and we're working on getting him to the next level. It's all part of the process. As a coach, my job is to help players like Jameson understand that it's not just about the opportunities they get. It's also about how they approach every situation. Being a receiver requires a certain level of selflessness, but it also requires a bit of selfishness at times. Receivers are the punctuation marks of a play, the final piece to finish what the rest of the offense started. I try to instill in them that confidence and competitiveness, but they also need to understand the team dynamic and how their role fits into the bigger picture. Third downs have been a major point of emphasis this week. Coach Campbell has been looking closely at every aspect of our third down performance. It's not just about the schemes we use, but also about the players and how we execute in those critical moments. He's been watching how we practice, how we approach third downs, and how we use our personnel. The focus has been on the details, and we've been analyzing our past games to see where we can improve. It's a collective effort to get better, not just one individual. We know we have the talent to make those plays, but it's about executing when it counts the most. The secondary's performance on Monday night was a huge boost for us. It was great to see the younger players step up and take advantage of the opportunity. Eric Howlett, for example, played safety and nickel, which was a huge shift for him, but he really rose to the occasion. Lawrence Strickland made some key plays, and Thomas Harper also stepped up, particularly with his tackle on the counterplay. I was impressed with how they all performed under pressure. These are the kinds of performances we need as we move forward in the season. Eric's ability to rotate from safety to nickel and still perform at a high level speaks volumes about his instincts and his preparation. He was able to read the play and make the right move, and that's the kind of development we look for. Even though he didn't get many reps during the week, he was ready when his name was called. That's a credit to his professionalism and his ability to stay ready for any situation. Looking at the bigger picture, when you're down multiple starters, it's all about next man up mentality. We've had to do this before in different roles, and it's all about making sure everyone is prepared. The culture here demands that everyone is ready to play, and when they step in, they're expected to perform. It's not always easy, but it's a testament to the depth we've built. And I've learned from past experiences that how well your backups perform is what defines your success, not just the starters. Before we move on, take a second to drop a like and subscribe. That way, you'll stay up to date with every exclusive Lions update, and you'll even have a chance to win an official Detroit Lions jersey. Let's keep going. In an unexpected twist, JAMEIS Winston, the former #1 overall pick in the 2015 NFL Draft, has made a shocking move, leaving the New Orleans Saints after several seasons with the team and signing a one-year deal with the Detroit Lions. This move has sent ripples throughout the NFL, leaving fans and analysts alike questioning the future of both teams. Winston, known for his high-risk, high-reward style of play, spent the past few years with the Saints, initially replacing Drew Brees in 2021. His time with the Saints was marked by inconsistency, but flashes of his former brilliance were often evident. A series of injuries and the emergence of younger quarterbacks on the Saints roster left Winston in a tough spot. Despite being a proven leader with the potential to shine on any given Sunday, the Saints were unable to offer him the long-term security he desired, making his departure all but inevitable. So, why did Winston choose Detroit, a team that has only recently started to turn things around after years of mediocrity? Well, the reasons seem clear: opportunity, competition, and a shot at redemption. For Winston, the Lions represent a fresh start with a young and hungry team, one that's been trending upward under head coach Dan Campbell. After years of turmoil, the Lions are starting to build something special. With the addition of Winston, they now have a quarterback who can push starter Jared Goff for playing time, adding an element of competition to the position. Winston's arrival in Detroit adds fuel to the fire of an already exciting offseason for the Lions. After a surprise playoff push last season, the team has continued to build momentum in the NFC North. They've been aggressive in free agency and have made key draft picks to further solidify their roster. The Lions believe that Winston's deep ball ability and willingness to take risks could be the perfect complement to their improving offense. Pairing him with a strong running game and a solid receiving core, including standout players like Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jameson Williams, could create a dynamic offensive force in Detroit. But the real question is, what does this mean for Jared Goff's future with the Lions? Goff, the Lions' current starting quarterback, has had an up-and-down career, but he's been solid in Detroit. His play last season was one of the main reasons the Lions were able to make a late playoff push. However, the team's management has made it clear they're not satisfied with simply good enough. Adding Winston to the roster signals that the Lions are looking for a true competition at quarterback. Winston has a unique skill set, particularly his ability to throw the deep ball, which could give Detroit a new dimension on offense. While Goff has proven himself as a capable starter, the Lions might be hoping that Winston's arrival will challenge him to elevate his game even further. From a strategic standpoint, the signing of Winston also signals that the Lions are gearing up for the future. With Goff on the back end of his prime, it makes sense for Detroit to bring in a quarterback like Winston, who has starting experience and potential upside. Winston's willingness to take risks in the passing game could open up new opportunities for the Lions' offense, particularly in critical moments where Goff might be a bit more conservative. Winston's arm strength and downfield vision could allow the Lions to stretch the field in ways they haven't been able to do in recent years. On the Saints' side, this move comes with a sense of loss. Winston had been a key piece of their plans since he signed with the team in 2020, after spending the previous season as the backup to Tom Brady in Tampa Bay. He showed flashes of his high-ceiling play in 2021, but his tenure with New Orleans was always complicated. Whether it was his inconsistency or his injury woes, Winston never quite lived up to expectations in the Big Easy. After a season-ending injury in 2021, he found himself in a backup role last year, as the Saints turned to Andy Dalton and even looked to experiment with rookie quarterback Chris Olave as a playmaker at times. This offseason, the Saints decided it was time to move on from Winston, opting to go in a different direction with their quarterback room. While they'll likely look to add another quarterback through the draft or free agency, it's clear that Winston's time in New Orleans has come to an end. The departure of Winston leaves the Saints with an opening for their next franchise quarterback, and there's already talk of potential moves in the draft. The Saints have had mixed results in the quarterback department since the departure of Drew Brees, and many believe they're in need of a long-term solution to secure their future at the position. For Winston, this move to Detroit is not just about football, it's about redemption. After years of ups and downs, from his infamous 30-interception season in Tampa Bay to his brief moments of brilliance in New Orleans, Winston finds himself at a crossroads in his career. The Lions are giving him a chance to prove that he can still be a starting quarterback in the NFL, and if he can live up to the potential that made him the first overall pick back in 2015, he could find himself back in the starting role sooner rather than later. The signing of Winston is also a reflection of Detroit's growing ambition. After years of being one of the NFL's most underachieving teams, the Lions are now positioning themselves as a contender in the NFC. Adding Winston to the roster bolsters their quarterback room and adds another dimension to their offense, making them an even more dangerous opponent in the NFC North. As for Winston, he's coming into this opportunity with a chip on his shoulder. There's no denying that he's been written off by many, but he's determined to prove everyone wrong. He's hungry for success, and he's eager to show that he can still be the kind of quarterback teams can build around. This season with the Lions could be the defining year of his career, and it's clear that Winston is prepared to give it everything he's got. With this signing, the NFC North just got a lot more interesting. Winston's arrival in Detroit only adds to the excitement surrounding this division, which has seen some major shifts in recent years. The Lions are now a team to watch, and JAMEIS Winston could be the catalyst they need to reach the next level. As for the Saints, this move marks the end of an era, and now they must turn the page to find their next franchise quarterback. We bring you the latest Lions news every single day. So make sure you're subscribed, hit that like button, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a thing. And of course, drop a comment below with your thoughts on today's news. Your voice makes a difference for Lions Nation. See you in the next video.